welcome to livealittlehigher.com. We continue learning Hovot HaLevavot, Duties of the Heart, by Rabbi Bahya Ibn Pakuda, and we're in the Gate of Abstinence, chapter 5. And he was talking about the three different ways of committing to abstinence. Last week we spoke about what is permitted and what's not permitted, how we should behave in every area of our lives, and that's what he was talking about the last time we got together, about things that we abstain from and things that we go and we do. And so today he starts continuing talking about this subject, and he's talking about that one has to endeavor to restrain our senses. Human beings are very sensorial, like everything is about the eyesight, the smell, what you hear, what you touch, what you feel. And if we look at the mitzvahs are also very connected to our senses. So here he starts saying how we have to really restrain our senses and be very careful how we use them. And so he begins by restraining our tongue. We have to really work on being very careful of our speech and closing our lips. It says that Hashem created us with like it's two gates before you get to your tongue. You have your lips, you have your teeth, and then you have your tongue, right? So you have to open two gates to get to your tongue. So he says that it's very important to restrain our tongue and closing our lips. Refrain from idle words. This is one thing, like if you want to start one new thing this year, like work on your speech. It will change your whole life. Work on being very careful how you use your mouth, what you talk about. Try to not talk about stupid things. Try to not make people feel bad. Be very conscious of what comes out of your mouth. And as they say, kashrut, kosher, is not only what goes in, it's also what comes out. So he says that so that moving your heaviest limb seems easier to you than moving your tongue. For the tongue is a part of the body that is the quickest to sin, and its sins are more numerous than those of all the rest because of its swiftness and quick motion, because of the facility with which its deed is done, and because of its ability to do good or evil without any intermediary. So the tongue, like people sometimes, they have no filter. They'll just talk and talk and talk, and they don't even think about what they're saying. So the tongue is a very, very sneaky part of our bodies, and it is therefore your duty, he says, to endeavor to curb and control it, to not allow it any speech unless absolutely necessary. So what he's saying is that we should really train ourselves to only speak what is necessary. Like, don't talk more than necessary. There's people who never shut up. They're always talking. So only talk things that are necessary. And he says, curtail superfluous speech as much as you can. Perhaps you will escape its injury. As the wise one said, death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is in Mishlei. This was said by King Solomon. So begin with the tongue before the other senses and members, because it is more difficult to control than the others. So what he's saying is, before you start controlling your hands and your feet and your other parts of your body, start with your mouth, because this is the hardest one. And as King David, peace upon him, said, who is the man who desires life? Who yearns to see good in his days? Guard your tongue from evil and your lips from talking deceitful. And this is in Tehillim 34. So he says, if you should wish to corroborate what I have said about the many sins involved in the speech, undertake to remember the words that left your mouth. So he says, he gives us an exercise that is really interesting. He says, like, during the day, try to remember what came out of your mouth. Like, if you can't have, like, in your phone, like, put in your notes, I said this, I said this, I said this. And during the day, when you were together with people, when you were mingling with them, when you talked on the phone with somebody, and write down everything you said, and then at night, when you are not preoccupied with your affairs, go over what you spoke during the day. Like look what your mouth is doing during the day, and reflect on what you speak about. And so you will see then that what proportion of your speech was necessary and what was superfluous and of no benefit. So we should train ourselves to see if what I'm saying is gonna benefit people. Is it kind? Is it important? You know, if you're gonna just talk for talking and stupidity, then it's good to see what your words go. So to you and what is injurious to you. For example, falsehood, tale-bearing, oaths, and slander. There's many people that every time they talk, they say, I swear, I swear, I swear. This is something that is forbidden. We should not be swearing to anybody, anything. It's more, before Yom Kippur, we annul our oaths. We annul our oaths. So then you will recognize your defect and see your corruption. And instead of talking a great deal, contemplate at length, meditate constantly, and engage in introspection. For contemplation is a lamp that you bring into your heart. Introspection is a sun that illuminates the darkness of your inner life, revealing to you the good and the evil hidden inside. And the tongue is the gate of the inner life. If the tongue is out of control and does not carefully guard what is in the inner realm, the gate of the treasury is left unattended. What you would not want to escape, escapes, and what you would not approve of being revealed is revealed. If, on the other hand, you guard that gate, you guard the treasury and its contents, as the wise one said, even a fool, if he keeps silent, is considered wise. So do not rush into your speech, not let your heart be hasty to utter a word before God. This is in Cohelens. And do not let your mouth cause you to sin. So yes, try to work on your speech. If you are wondering what should I work on this year, and I mean this is for everybody, this is the hardest mitzvah to keep, is to keep your mouth where it should be and try not to talk about people, try not to create fear in people. You know, so many people talk about the news and talk about what's going on in the world. It's so unnecessary. This only creates anxiety to other people. Like, train yourself to talk things that really elevate the world, that make people feel good about themselves. Talk about beauty, talk about Hashem. Always learn the portion of the Torah, so you can always have some words of Torah that are for the moment, you know, like learn to talk beautiful. I read a book, it's called A Beautiful Mind. I don't remember who wrote it, but it talks about, like, when you look at people and you wonder what is that person has that people like gravitate towards them. Listen to them. See what they're talking about. When people are talking beauty and they make people feel warm and nice around them, then this is a person that's using their speech for holy and higher purposes. But a person that's all day cursing, all day talking negativity, or making people feel bad about themselves, or they're talking bad about other people, or creating anxiety to others, then yeah, we need a lot to work on. So I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.